Today we're discussing what is meant by a galvanic cell. Okay. Now in a galvanic cell we know that a chemical reaction takes place. We have previously seen electrolytic cell where electricity was passed to make a chemical reaction take place. Here chemical reaction takes place on its own. It is spontaneous. Spontaneous means अपने आप होता है. It takes place on its own. You did not pass anything, or you did not pass electricity, or you did not heat it, nothing. It is a spontaneous chemical reaction, and from this chemical reaction electricity is produced. Okay, so in a galvanic cell you have a spontaneous chemical reaction and electricity is produced from it. You can call it as a galvanic cell or a voltaic cell. Okay, now what you do in this is you take two half cells. That means you take two, first in simple understanding, you take two different beakers, and then in one you take a solution. You dip a metal first of all. Suppose I am dipping a metal of zinc. Okay, if I am dipping zinc metal, then I'll dip in a solution of zinc itself, meaning zinc salt. Like I can take zinc sulfate or zinc chloride, a salt of zinc whose aqueous solution is taken. Aqueous means dissolved in water. So you make a solution of zinc sulfate or zinc chloride or any salt of zinc which is soluble in water. Okay, and then in the other beaker you take another metal, maybe you take copper. Okay, and then you dip it in a solution containing copper ions itself. Like you can take copper sulfate or copper chloride or whatever, but you will take a salt of copper itself, aqueous solution. Okay, dissolved in water, and then you connect both through a wire. Okay, so the electricity is whatever is produced will be transmitted through this. Now what happens is, now suppose this reaction takes place, there is also one more setup that is known as, you have to use what is known as a salt bridge. This is a salt bridge. Okay, so first we'll see what is meant by a salt bridge. It is containing some salt of maybe KCl, or that means it basically what we are doing is we are taking an electrolyte. Okay, electrolyte like KCl and NH4NO3 or KNO3, and you're taking a solution of this, an aqueous solution of this, along with 5% agar. Now agar you can think is like a glue, Fevicol or something like that. You can think of it because it's obtained from a plant, but then this is like a glue. So you put 5% agar and you take this solution and you pour into this salt bridge. Okay, and then keep it aside for drying. Once it is dried, when you invert it, when you invert in this shape, because of the agar, it will not flow down because it is all stuck up now. Okay, now the advantage of having a salt bridge is it provides electrical contact. Okay, it provides electrical contact between the two solutions, and therefore otherwise the circuit will not be completed. So when it provides this electrical contact, the circuit gets completed. Moreover, the solutions do not get mixed up, so it prevents the mixing of the solution. At the same time the circuit is completed because it is getting connected. Okay, and in both cases it maintains neutrality. That means suppose I'm saying zinc metal, and then if it is zinc sulfate, zinc Zn+2, then too much of positive ions or too much of negative ions will not help the solution to maintain its neutrality. Okay, so as to maintain the neutrality of the solution, you need a salt bridge. So we once again just quickly recap the uses of the salt bridge. It helps to maintain electrical contact. Okay, it helps to maintain electrical contact. That means it helps in completing the circuit. And it does not allow the solutions to mix. Okay, or it prevents the mixing of the solution. Prevents mixing of the electrolytes and maintains neutrality. Otherwise, if this bridge were not to be there, one of the solution will have too much of positive charge and the other would have had too much of negative charge, and then there would have been no passing of current taking place. So it maintains neutrality of the solutions. So this way Salt bridge helps in maintaining the circuit. Okay, so that is the purpose of having a salt bridge. So now you know what you have to do. You have to you need two half cells, one containing one metal which is dipped or immersed in its own ions. Okay, zinc suppose you're taking, then it is immersed in zinc itself, and copper if you're taking, it is immersed in copper itself. It doesn't matter what metal you're using, but whichever metal you're using, that metal will be dipped in its own uh, solution. Sometimes if you're not able to do that, okay, your electrode, now here we have taken metallic electrode, you can even use gas electrodes, but when you're using gas electrodes, the problem is how will you connect? You cannot connect gas directly, so you will need an inert electrode like platinum. So if you're using platinum, that does not mean that platinum is electrode and you're going to dip in a platinum solution. Platinum there will act as an inert electrode. Okay, platinum will act as an inert electrode, and the gas will be present, and the gas will be present, that will be the electrode which will be dipped in a solution of that gas ions. Okay, so that's how it is prepared. And now let us see how to represent galvanic cells. So now you know what is a galvanic cell, you know what is a salt bridge. Now let us see how to represent galvanic cells. Representation means you're making a short notation, okay? A short notation of a cell. So here you're going to show everything. You're going to show the electrodes where those metal pieces like zinc, copper, those are the electrodes. You're going to show the electrodes, you're going to show the aqueous solutions, you're going to show the concentration of the aqueous solutions, and if that is not there, then what are other species, like whether you're having platinum and then you're having a gas, and what is the concentration of the gas. Okay, so that way you're going to show everything, which simply by notation you can explain the whole thing. Okay, that is the idea of representation of galvanic cell. So the metal electrode or inert electrode, suppose you're using platinum, then that may be an inert electrode. In case of that will be in case of gas electrodes. Okay, so that the electrodes are to be placed at the ends. Okay, the electrodes are to be placed at the ends of the cell. So if you have an anode, of course you should have an anode, not if you have an anode and a cathode, but you know that in galvanic cell it is just the opposite, because when we learned electrolytic cell, we said that the cathode will be what do you say, the cathode will be negative, but in galvanic cell cathode is going to be positive and the anode is going to be negative. Please remember this, in galvanic cell anode will be negative and cathode is going to be positive. So the anode will be written at the extreme left. Okay, negative one will be at the extreme left and positive will be at the extreme right. The rest of the things will come in between. Okay, so this is how you're going to write. The anode is written at the extreme left and cathode is placed at the extreme right. Okay, then if any gases are present, then they are all placed adjacent to the electrodes inside. Okay, the aqueous solutions are placed at the almost at the middle of the solution, and between the two faces, that is like you have your zinc sulfate, then to show the boundary between the metal and its solution, you will just put one single line. Okay, between solid electrode and the aqueous solution, put one single line. So just remember, one line, this is the first point, one line separates electrode and its aqueous solution. So this is how it is going to be. You are going to write the electrode, you'll put a line and then its aqueous solution, and then if you know the concentration, then you can write whatever is the concentration, like X molar, then you can write the concentration. Okay, that's how you're going to write. One line will separate them. Okay, if it is gas, then you can write the gas pressure and so on. Okay, now suppose you have two ions in two different oxidation numbers, but within the same phase. That means if in the solution, for example, you have Fe plus 2 and Fe plus 3, then you just separate them by a comma. Okay, just put a comma to separate them. Okay, and then you may have probably an inert electrode like platinum or whatever. Yeah? So if you want to write a single half cell, like I'm not writing both half cell, I'll tell you, okay, just show me how you will write the zinc half cell, only zinc half cell. So if you write only half cell, then always remember that you will first write the aqueous solution. If you're writing only half cell, then you will first write the aqueous solution. Like for example, as I said, if it was zinc solution, then you will write zinc 1 molar, separate zinc. Okay, here we are not using whether it's anode or cathode because we are writing only the half cell. But if you're writing the entire cell, then the anode will be at the extreme left and the cathode will be at the extreme right. Okay, so let us just see how to write. So suppose I tell you I have magnesium anode, and copper cathode, and magnesium, so aqueous solution of magnesium, which is 1 molar, and aqueous solution of copper, which is also 1 molar. Then I want you to write the cell, represent the cell or write the cell notation. Then you remember anode should be at the extreme left. So you're going to write magnesium, put a single line, then write Mg2 plus 1 molar. Okay. And then showing this is a salt bridge. In between you have to put the salt bridge. And now extreme right will be copper, and then you will have Cu2 plus 1 mole. Okay. So extreme right will be the cathode, which is the positive part. Extreme left will be the anode, which is the negative part. And in between you will have your aqueous solution along with its concentration Mg2 plus 1 molar, copper 2 plus 1 molar, and in between you will show the salt bridge. Okay. One more we will just write down. This is the first one. Second one, suppose I want to write, I have H plus ions. Now this is a gas electrode. Okay, H plus 1 molar, and then I have H2 gas 1 atmosphere. I told you gas we usually write its pressure. And then of course the electrode will be platinum, which is an inert electrode. Okay, means you need not use the platinum ions here because it's an inert electron. And then I have silver 1 molar. When I say 1 molar, understand it is salt solution. And then I have silver solid. That means it is the electrode. Then I should also know which is the anode and which is the cathode. The hydrogen is the anode here and silver is the cathode. So how do I write? So I remember that anode should be at the extreme left. So I first write this platinum. Okay. And then I put a line. And then I write H2 gas. How much? 1 atmosphere. Okay. So you can just close the bracket after writing 1 atmosphere, gas, comma, 1 atmosphere. Then again you put a single line because these ions are also all within the cell. Okay, so wherever it is all within one cell, then you will put only single lines, and then after that you will put your, this is 1 molar, and then you will put your salt bridge because that will show you the other half cell. This is 1 half cell, this is the other half cell. So within 1 half cell you will only use single lines. Okay, so now you know that at the extreme end should be your cathode, that will be silver solid, and then here you are going to have silver ions, which is 1 molar. This is how you represent your cell. Okay. Okay, now let us write few more cell reactions. Suppose I have a cell to write where I have lead solid, and I'm telling you this is anode part. Okay, lead solid, which is anode part. I have lead sulfate solution, which is at 1 molar concentration, and then I have silver, which is acting as a cathode. Okay, silver solid, which is acting as a cathode, and silver nitrate 1 molar solution. So how do I write the cell? So what you'll do, first you'll write the anode, extreme left is anode, extreme right is cathode, right? So if they mention solid, you can write solid. So lead solid, and extreme right will be silver solid, that is a cathode. Put a single line. You need not write PbSO4, you can simply write Pb plus 2, 1 molar. Okay, between them there will be only single line, but after that there's going to be a double line because it is one half of the cell is complete, the anode part is complete. Now you have to write the cathode part, where you simply write Ag plus 1 molar because Ag plus of Ag nitride, and then put a single line. So that is it, that completes your cell. Okay, I hope you understood. Thanks a lot.